twiddling and pointing fingers until eventually the commissioner just had to step in and said, all right, I'm siding with the
That was
owners.
part of the original deal. Was that if they couldn't come to a further deal
He
down the road, the
has the
commissioner
agreement.
got to do it. So,
Is
yeah.
the playoffs still going to be the same, or
Yes.
do they add more?
10, still the same, 10 teams.
They're gonna let them. They're gonna let them carry.
But the National League has DH now, so no more non-DH, no more pitchers hitting. That is the end of
That's
that.
the end of that. If it's implemented this year, it is going to be this way going forward.
They're gonna let them carry extra players. It seemed like maybe a couple extra. If you have a double header, you're allowed to have another pitcher.
There is also this. They're referring to it as a taxi squad, which is made up of. Each team has a taxi squad of 60-plus players that they can pull from.
All right, so how many teams out of each division makes National and American?
5, right? Hunter?
10, yeah, 5 and
teams.
5.
Okay.
10. And then obviously the 4 and what is it? The first 2 get buys, and then the others are wild cards. Yeah.
So I'm making my predictions right now.
Oh,
And there'll
no.
be a few of them in here that in a 60-game season, there are going to be a couple in here who would not have a chance if you was playing 162, but they're going to have a chance at 60, and they're going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And one of them, and Hunter's just watching me write their name down, San Diego is going to make the playoff through this 60-game season.
Okay.
And on the other side, Kansas City is going to make the playoffs through this 60-game season. Maybe as a wild card, but they're going to make it.
These are
And
Terry
then
Reinhardt's.
That's right. And
2
then I'm going
early
to put the rest of
predictions.
my labels down of who's going to make it. Everybody knows the Dodgers and the Yankees are going to make it in.
They're the 2 favorites
Yes.
right now to win the World Series.
But I'm going to finish mine, and y'all continue talking about baseball because I think with a shortened season, some teams get off to good starts, some teams get off to bad starts. Boston has been way behind before at the start and couldn't recover, and then there's been times that Boston's been way behind and they've recovered over a 162-game season. But you have to understand, if you get off to a hot start, the chances on you faltering down the stretch is not going to be bad. I mean, you just continue to play 500 ball, and you're going to have a shot at making it. So it all depends on your first 15 to 20 games of how you start. If you start off 12-8, you're going to have a chance.
Yeah, you'll have a chance. 2020 season quick facts. The number of games, 60. We've established that.
Yes.
Opening day will be around July 24th. Spring training, July 1st. So we're getting ready to have that in a few days. The MLB asked the MLB Players Association Monday whether players will be able to report to training in their respective cities within 7 days by July 1st. The number of teams in the playoffs, 10. Salary structure, full prorated salary. 60 games, players will earn around 37% of their full season salary as long as the truncated schedule is completed. What makes the 60-game season work, and what will be the biggest challenge? We know exactly what the biggest challenge is going to be. It's going to be one of the players gets the virus. It's going to be the biggest challenge for any team to have to deal with, because then it goes, well, does the whole team have to self-quarantine? Do you have to bring up almost Team B out of your taxi squad players? That's going to be tough. Around the health, obviously it's coronavirus. Of course, this is just what I'm reading. This is verbatim. If you can't tell, I am reading from something. I don't have all of this just memorized. Spring training 2.0 will be about a week, unless the players go on strike, which is unlikely. This season is going to happen. I know a lot of people out there are thinking, well, do the players necessarily have to just go along with it now that the commissioner's kind of stepped in, put his foot down, and said, all right, this is what's happening? Yes. Unless they go on strike, this is exactly what is going to happen.
I think they need to go ahead. Let's go ahead and play this thing, and then reset next year if they want to, get a new deal or whatnot. But I really think it would be good for them and good for their game to get on the field, play. Because if you don't, like we've been talking the last few shows, It's just like an argument between millionaires and billionaires, which most people aren't interested in right now, and it'll hurt the game, and it'll hurt its fan base. So I'm glad they're going to get something going, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting.
Big on the field changes. MLB and the union previously agreed to adopt the minor league rule for extra innings.
Yeah, the guy on second base.
The guy on second base.
Basically, the international tiebreaker rule.
Yes.
Of course, they're not going to. I think the true international tiebreaker rule is man on second base, 1 out. But I don't think they're doing the 1 out. I know what he's doing.
For those of you that can't see on radio, Kevin is having the most fun in the world on our Facebook page.
He does this. Is what he does.
Look at this wolf over there. We got Brutus. Oh, I guess I need a microphone, don't I? We got Brutus over here, the worst mascot in the NCAA.
Whatever.
We got Hunter the Ramses.
Probably the best.
It might be, but there's this cool guy down here.
You've got Appalachian. Oh, our mascot is the guy who hadn't had a shower in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's got 2 thumbs and 3 national championships? This guy.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Though, you know how he gives you a hard time for Bush winning Truck Series. He's always bragging about his Pee Wee national championship. So I mean, it's kind of the same wavelength.
It's not even close.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I got this for you. Health and safety.
What happens when we play the Kyle Bushes of the world? We stomp them into the ground.
Okay.
We wreck them in turn 4.
Health and safety protocols for the MLB.
But Terry's Miss Wolf over here. Look at him.
Players and other team personnel not participating. Players and other team personnel not participating in the game would sit in the stands, separated by at least 6 feet. Hey, buddy. Pretty good. That's pretty good fastball he threw, huh? Could you imagine? You have to sit. That's MLB's version of their fans in the stands.
Will they be
Actually, they're just the team spread out 6 feet apart.
Will they be allowed to bang on the seats
When this fastball comes?
Can they sit in the outfield bleachers and read the
think
catcher?
about that.
What can they do? I have questions, Hunter. Keep going. You're doing good.
Celebratory contact is verboten. No high fives, no bumps or hugs. Dang, this is the no fun league now.
But
That's
they're
what we
good.
used to call the NFL.
They'll come up with something of their own.
The grand tradition of gross habits is on hiatus.
Spitting.
No spitting, chewing of tobacco or sunflower seeds in any combination thereof. What? I can't have sunflower seeds and just spit them in my bottle?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the tobacco, most of it. Well, you can still do the same thing, spit it in a bottle.
I tell you what I do like, though. I know you were going to get to it, but the pitcher's got to face 3 batters. Unless the inning ends.
I love that.
I'm just doing right now the health and safety. A minimal distance between base runners, fielders, coaches, and umpires on the field will be encouraged as much as possible.
Encouraged.
It's going to be encouraged. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they're just going to encourage
it.
A ball will be thrown out once it has been touched by multiple players. They must have piles of these things just waiting. Wait a minute. This is a good.
No, back up. So read that one again out loud.
A ball.
Hold on. Let me put you on. I'm gonna make sure Hunter's on the screen when he reads that out loud.
A baseball.
No, that's not what you said.
Okay,
Take the word base out of that.
All right. A ball will be thrown out. Yeah, man. A ball will be thrown out once it has been touched by multiple players. That's radio for you,
That's
right
a great
there.
rule. That's a great rule.
Baseball.
That's a great rule.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't say baseball.
Terry, you confirm that rule.
Baseball.
Now take that and I'm reading the next one. Post-game showers are discouraged,
Oh God.
as will be the use of taxis and ride shares.
That's why when you're umpiring a game, you don't look at the dugout and say, "I need a couple of balls, coach."
That's
Okay.
it.
Well,
Yeah, that's it.
You
So
know
that's-
what's coming back.
Yeah.
you do.
Yes.
So balls will be thrown out once they've been touched by multiple players, and post-game showers are discouraged.
Well, one of the fellow umpires made fun of me and laughed at me one time because I kind of did something like that. It was I don't know what happened. The catcher missed it. It was ball 3, and the catcher missed it. Ball went back to the thing. You throw it back to the pitcher or whatever. Well, the other umpire did his thing. He goes, whatever signal for he wanted to count. So
That one right there.
it was 3-0. Instead of saying 3-0, I just yelled, "I got 3 balls." That was it. That's all I said.
Yeah.
I turn around and walk back to the home plate, and I look out there, and him and the first base coach are down there crying, laughing. I'm like, what are they laughing at? And we went and played the rest of the inning, and he come back in just giggling. I was like, what are y'all doing down there? He said, you come out there and announce to the whole crowd that you got 3 balls.
Wow.
So you don't ask for a couple from the coach, right, Tom?
You don't say that. You don't say, "I don't have any balls, coach." Don't say that either. I know. I watched you call the whole game. You know, so.
Yeah. But that's
So, yeah.
just those are just some of the health and safety protocols they will
Look-
be they will be attempting to implement into this coming season.
If I could just throw in one little anecdote, I just happened to be watching a network I won't mention, and there was
Good.
the anniversary of Bobby Valentine getting thrown out of a game because he went out on the field. Something happened, interference call, something stupid, that always gets you cussed out.
Is this the spin move?
And and Valentine, who was a New York wise guy, he said, "Hey Blue, can I get thrown out for what I'm thinking?" And the referee, or the umpire, said no for some reason. Well, I was just thinking. And he just told him. So he throws him out, and he's got to leave. Well, Valentine goes in and gets like a pair of glasses and puts on a fake mustache.
Yeah, I think that was in Japan when he did that.
No, I don't know what, but he's thrown out of the game and he's in disguise on the sideline, because he didn't want to leave. And they end up finding out who it was and finding him $10,000.
That was like a video I saw the other day. They were re-showing it, and it was of NC State's manager was going out on the field and was absolutely chewing out that umpire, and someone stepped in front of him, and he completely spin moves his way around the other umpire and continues to give him a piece of his mind until eventually just says, "I've had enough, buddy. I've had enough, buddy." I think that's why I admired Bobby Cox so much growing up. He just had no fear. No fear. He did not care. He was getting his point across, and once it was done, he was just like, "All right, I'm just going to go sit in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go sit in the clubhouse." And you look at Skipper
He
and
was
be
not
like,
exactly a good manager
"You got
for
this."
Southern baseball coaches because they all act.
"Oh, they all wanted to be
Oh,
Bobby
yeah.
Cox."
Everybody wanted to be Bobby
You want to be
Cox.
Bobby Cox.
That's usually how it goes.
First of all,
Huh?
who did you use?
Huh?
Who was that
Huh?
for me?
Huh?
I know exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
Joe Gibbs.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was about to say, I know you did not use Jay Gruden because I would have lost my mind.
I tried to find the old Redskin sweater with Gibbs, and I couldn't find a good one I could use. That was the one I was trying to use, but yeah, there's if you're watching live on Facebook today, there's Hunter, Joe Gibbs, Yancey, Terry from the Little Giants, Cowboy Man.
Could you at least put like Baker Mayfield?
Look,
or
Tom,
something?
Money Mansell, Sinafani.
I'm jealous.
And do you know who I am, Hunter?
A Miami Dolphins player.
Who am I, Tom? Who's that picture of?
It actually really looks like Kevin, doesn't it?
Who's that picture of?
I can't tell who that
Number-
is.
Number 5 for the Miami Dolphins.
Was he a kicker?
Yes.
I don't know.
Y'all don't know?
Gary, your premium?
No.
Oh,
I'm Ray Finkel.
okay.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, boy. I'm quite sure we'd all guess that.
You know who Ray Finkel is, Hunter?
Hell no, I don't
You
know.
don't
the
know who Ray
Ace
Finkel is?
Ventura movie.
Have you seen Ace
The
Ventura?
laces were out.
Have you seen Ace
No.
Ventura? No? Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Hunter.
wait. I
gotta get
have
Hunter.
seen the new age Ace Ventura.
That stuff don't
Which,
count.
yes, if you're talking about Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura,
You need some.
Remember when Dan Marino was tied up?
Yeah.
And he's going, the lace is right. And Dan's going.
Hunter, you've got. I need to get a playlist of movies together for you to.
oh yeah, I just
That's some good laughs for you. The story, Hunter.
I like some of Jim Carrey's movies. As weird as he is,
Yeah,
I like some of his movies.
The
He's
story,
out there.
The
Hunter.
Mask. Oh, I love The Mask.
So the basic story, Hunter, is Jim Carrey's is a animal detective, pet detective.
I know the premise of
Okay.
Ace Ventura because,
So-
like I said, unfortunately, I have seen the remakes they did with the small kid.
So what happened was in was it 80? It's the fictitious was one of the championship games that the Dolphins lost. They made up this kicker's name. His name was Ray Finkel, and this was the name of the kicker in the movie. But the thing was that Finkel
Missed the kid.
missed the kick, and he blames it on Dan Marino because Marino was holding and the laces were in. The laces were in and not out.
Uh-huh.
So Finkel turns into a lady, becomes the Miami Police Department chief, and frames Dan Marino for stealing the Miami Dolphin mascot, the actual live dolphin. So that's the premise of the of what happens. So I'm the kicker before he did his change, Ray Finkel of the Miami Dolphins. They actually sell those jerseys, you know, like the fake TV jerseys.
yeah.
You can buy a Ray Finkel jersey. Terry, you want a Ray Finkel jersey?
No, I'm good.
How about we hang one right behind you for the shows?
No.
You want me
No.
to get you a Ricky Bobby jumpsuit?
No, I could have bought a Manziel jersey for $1.
Where at?
Might as
No.
well.
That's what Cleveland was selling them for.
Might as well.
I'm sure that
Inside the shop.
There you go.
Yeah, they was.
there's-
$1.
Terry.
For Manziel.
Yes.
There you go.
But you can
Birthday
block it
present
out.
for
You can
Tom.
take it to the shop.
I am seriously. They were selling those jerseys.
Take it to
for
the
$1.
shop. Take
I'd
it to
have
the sewing shop. Just sew your name on top.
I'd wear it. I don't matter.
Take the hat off for my Ray Finkel appearance. Hunter, you can keep going on baseball.
But I'm gonna say
That's about it,
well, here we
really,
go.
for the updates on baseball.
I'm gonna do my predictions, as
All right,
we
Terry,
hadn't
what are
even
your
started.
predictions?
But for the National League,
Well,
the
we can
Dodgers,
do that.
yeah, the Dodgers, Chicago, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and San Diego will make the playoffs. And my outside looking in is San Diego because a lot of people think you can't not be in the playoffs if it's shortened. But this year we will have some teams. In the American League, the Yankees, the Chicago White Sox, Houston, Tampa Bay, and Kansas City will represent the American League. Those are my predictions early.
I mean, two things real quick on those predictions. Terry, in a shortened season, you're talking about it's going to help some teams and not. Why do you think it's going to help certain teams on your list as opposed to other teams on your list?
It's,
For the listeners at home that want to know, why do you think Kansas City is going to
Why?
make the playoffs and not someone like the Cleveland Indians?
well, it's like I said, anytime you have a short season, and you can always go back and remember when Pittsburgh in the National League was always slow starters, but then towards the end they would make a run. But I mean, you're talking over 162 game season. Sometimes when you start and you say the games are shortened, then teams who you think would not have a chance get off to a good start, and they never falter on account of, hey, through 60 games. And I'm just putting it like this, like I said a while ago, if you go 12-8 through your first 20, and that's what I'm looking at, 12-8, you're going to have a chance. You're going to have a chance to make a play. Now, if you start off low, Boston's been known to start off slow sometimes, being like, 4-9 or 4-10. If you do that over a 60-game season, your chance on spinning it around and tying it back up are not good, because we have to understand in shortened seasons, if you are 4-10, that means over your next games, think of what you're going to go 10-4 just to get back to even, and then you're only a 500 ball club.
I have one team that you listed that I really don't think is actually going to make it.
Well,
Or
Kansas
there are a
City.
couple teams that I think aren't going to make it off that list, but one in particular. And a lot of people probably would think they would have a good shot just because of their roster. I don't think the Cubs make it. And it's because they don't have Madden as their manager anymore.
No, they don't have Madden.
And they, guy, who was their catcher for so long who just took over for them? Oh, Lord. He's their manager now. He did a year in broadcasting.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
You know
about.
exactly what I'm talking about. I can picture his face right now. Anyways,
I don't know any Chicago Cubs.
Besides
Yeah,
that,
the catcher. Yeah.
I've never heard
I
of
mean,
a
he's
Chicago.
even
What's a
announcing-
Chicago Cub? I don't know.
what is his name,
Never
man?
heard of him.
David Ross.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God, I had to see the name. Everybody's listening, probably screaming, is like David Ross, David Ross. David Ross is now the manager of the Chicago Cubs. He doesn't have a lick of managerial experience that has been as part of this.
But he's a catcher.
He was a catcher.
He knows the game.
He knows the game.
Yeah.
I will not tell you whether he doesn't know the game. Does he know situationally, maybe?
Yep.
Does he know his players, like the roster itself, outside of the players he played with on the World Series team? Because remember, that was it.
Yeah.
After that, he retired. Does he know anybody else's tendencies? Is he that good of a talent evaluator? Yeah, he's going to have a coaching staff beside of him that can help him with these changes. I just don't know if it's – I'm not going to say he couldn't do the job. I think maybe he took the job too soon because he's only been out of the league maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to use this reference. Maybe he should have crawled before he tried to walk. Maybe he gets his toes wet minor league ball coaching a little bit, or maybe as just a catcher's coach on the team. Then he works his way up to the manager. I don't know. I just feel like, and that division as a whole was stupid tough.
It is.
The Cubs, the
Cincinnati.
Cardinals.
They score runs.
That is a crazy tough division in itself. So I'm not necessarily going to say the Cubs are going to get there just because of two reasons. That division is super tough, and I think Madden not being there is a big deal. But I don't think Madden makes a big difference for the Angels. I don't.
Tom, is this how you feel Terry is when he talks about your Indians?
Yeah,
I'm always a plus guy to the Indians.
Yeah. Well,
check out Hunter, wild thing, with the glasses and all.
I've been called that a couple times, but
Oh,
we don't have to
gosh.
get into that. Oh, that's a winner, baby. That's a winner.
Hunter, Wild Thing Vaughn
That's a
is in
winner.
the house. Hello, Hunter. We've got Kevin, Euchre, Hastings, Terry, of course, telling the guys that the Indians that they stink. I figured that fit just perfect, Tom. Terry, you got something to say to the Indians, to the players there?
It's already up there. I don't have to say anymore.
It's already up there.
I just don't see how Kansas City has. They got to play the Cubs. They got to play the
Terry.
Reds. They got to play the Brewers because of
Look
the
at Terry.
geographic scheduling. They got to play the Cardinals. There's no way.
Geographic
Kansas City,
scheduling.
yeah, because they're in Major League Baseball. You're not going to go all the way around the country.
I thought they were keeping the regular divisions.
They are,
Right.
But you're
Oh,
non-divisional
it's
games
40-20.
are
Oh, for your
Yeah.
for your. Oh, I didn't know that they were only letting you play regional for non-division.
Right.
I thought they were just letting
Yeah.
you for 20 games.
The rest are going to be interleague.
We're
Yeah.
playing Cincinnati. They can score runs. We'll score runs.
No, Terry. I mean, this is
Listen,
why
as
we
long
have
as
this
y'all go out there
conversation?
and beat Trevor Bauer, I could care less.
That's a tough draw to get the Central because the Central's very competitive. The NL Central's very competitive.
I just want to know how Terry thinks Cardinals aren't going to make the playoffs when Yadier is probably going to play most of the games now this year.
60.
He's not playing 120 games. He's playing all of them.
yeah.
Listen,
And they don't lose when he's in the lineup. So they're going to be over
You'll be
500.
the first team out.
They're going to be over 500.
You'll
Look,
be the first team
Terry,
out.
you're talking.
for you to have any list and they're not on it is just silly.
This is a
I'm not
sprint,
saying they're the best team.
and
They
the young
finishing
guns.
under 500.
The young guns are going to come out swinging in this sprint. Atlanta's got the best chance out of anybody's
Some of 'em are
team
high-
here
yeah.
to win.
Pull
Some
those
of them are
odds
high in
up. Pull those
Atlanta.
odds up, Hunter.
Yeah.
I do want to see that. Now, now you said
I liked those.
I think Atlanta was third or fourth.
Atlanta was tied for fourth in World Series odds with the Twins. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I can
So I
tell
didn't
you
even
it
put
was
Minnesota on mine.
New York, and the Dodgers were tied for first. Second was the Astros, and tied for third on odds were the Braves and the Twins.
Yeah, but my whole deal in behind Minnesota, so I didn't even put Minnesota on mine because I had Chicago and Kansas City both finishing in front of them.
In
I
front
thought
of
Boston's way down. I thought Boston would be a little higher. Kansas City Royals is one of the worst chances.
I hope it is like that. We
yeah,
have
why don't you
nothing to
go
lose.
put $5,000
zero
on there?
to
Put your money where your
hero.
mouth is.
Zero.
Put the title of that truck you love so much up.
Yeah.
Put it up. see who's driving that truck next year. Won't be you.
I I made my odds right here. It's
See, but I
right
think
here
the
in front
Twins
of
have a good chance too because they can hit a ton, and they added another bat.
Dude,
I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
they
look.
can hit a ton.
But you
I mean,
got
they
to get
gotta-
off to a good start, and they're slow starters.
I'm gonna say this too. People are gonna, and I said it to Kevin when we talked about it Wednesday. I don't know if anybody heard us because we might have had a technical issue during that.
Yeah, it might have been when when you were muted.
The Astros are on here for a reason, and I know a lot of people hate them right now, but that team has still got talent all over the board.
Third best odds.
Yeah.
They still have talent all over that board, and they could do it as long as they have. I know what hurts them the most is losing Garrett Cole, because that really solidified their pitching.
It's going to be also tough to swing with broken ribs.
That's what I said. They're going to have to stay healthy.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You
60
think
games.
teams are going to let them steal games if it's only 60 games?
Listen,
No.
it's 60 games.
You're
It's
right.
just 60 games.
60. That's
You
what I
only,
keep
you only
saying.
got to hit one guy at a time.
Did you leave the Nationals off that list?
Yeah.
You think they have a hangover?
I mean, so you won one.
I
mean, you know,
Kansas City. Oh, so you won one.
Tom, so you won one, the Nationals.
I don't
Kansas
even
City's
want
in
to
it.
hear about that. The Miami used to win one, and then they'd get
don't
rid
have
of the
the
whole
Cardinals.
team.
Yadier Molina hasn't had a losing season, one in 19 years.
I
You
didn't
don't have
say
him.
you finished below
Miami,
500.
Miami
Well, if you're
does have
above
the worst
500, you're in the
odds.
playoffs.
Well,
By the math on it, they're
Oh,
talking.
Lordy.
If you're over 500, you're in the playoffs.
you're 30 and 30.
Well, that's not over 500.
Well, that's what
That
you're
is
gonna
500.
finish.
What I'm saying is that if you're over 500, there's like a 90% chance you're in the playoffs.
So the key is start hot.
Early.
Right.
That's right.
You got to come out swinging and starting hot.
Right.
And, baseball,
All right, we
I
gotta
think
get
this
out
is
here, don't
exactly
we?
what baseball needed. I think this is exactly what they need.
All right, we
60
get ready.
games.
We come back. We're gonna finish up with NBA, and we will. Then we've got do the trivia. We'll give the trivia answers in just a few moments. Is he out? He was a minute ago. No, just let him sit there. I'll go. I'll press the button. We'll finish it up in just a second. How about we go to the? I actually put it on this a minute ago so we could do this. Where was it at? For the folks watching at home, our board up is, I don't know. Is that a lack of oxygen? Too much oxygen? What y'all think? What would y'all call that?
I would keep my thoughts to myself.
I just wondered.
Oh,
she's
man.
Terry, look at the screen the right way. Let's see. Everybody turn and point. Hey, man, we're just waiting on you to press the commercials.
All right.
All right, KDCBroadcasting.com.
Spending too much time at home with nothing to do? Then go shopping. That's right, go shopping at whatsupshopper.com. Local area businesses are featuring their products and services on whatsupshopper.com. You can also play our contest, listen to the swap shop, and more. Make it one of your favorites. There are also valuable coupons from area businesses. And as they say, let your fingers do the walking and shop online at whatsupshopper.com. You'll love it.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Contact between Austin Cindric and Earnhardt, but they'll sort it out.
The fourth and final race of the Dash for Cash ends at one of NASCAR's most unique venues, the Pocono Raceway.
Allgaier mirrors every move.
It's the Pocono Green 225, recycled by J.P. Mascaro and Sons. Sunday at noon on the Motor Racing Network.
On Carolina Country WCSL 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Do you have a little wiggle in the front end of that car or truck? Or are your stops taking a little longer? Then you need to see Petite's Front End and Brake Shop in Shelby. For over 42 years, Petite's Front End and Brake Shop has been serving this area. From alignments to brakes, from shocks to tires, from AC work to heater repair, they do it all, even minor automotive repair. And they are a North Carolina inspection station. Just call 704-482-8471 or come by. They're located at 308 North Washington Street in Shelby. See Tim and the guys today at Petite's Front End and Brake Shop in Shelby. Open 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Captain's Cap Family Fish House has reopened their dining room. Bring the family on out for a great meal, no matter your favorite. They've got it, from seafood to steak to chicken. It's all great, and you can still use a convenient drive-through window. So visit the nearest Captain's Cap Family Fish House, 3140 Linwood Road in Gastonia, 670 Park Street in Belmont, and 1218 Highway 16 in Denver. Visit the website at thecaptainscap.com and like them on Facebook too.
Well, now take down your fishing pole and meet me at the fishing hole.
It's time to go fishing. Whether it's at your favorite fishing hole or the lake or even the ocean, the Great Outdoors in Cherryville is what you need. Come see their full line of fishing tackle. Visit the all-new reel shed and boats too. Bass boats, pontoon boats, and pleasure boats. They've got them all. So take down your favorite fishing pole and head to the Great Outdoors in Cherryville. Highway 150 East, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Keep it protected with a new carport from Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. From 1-car to 2-car carports, your car will love you for it. And right now they have special pricing on metal roofing. 3x12 sheets in multiple colors are priced at $20 a sheet. Acre Enterprises will meet or beat anybody's price on metal roofing. And check out their storage buildings too. From Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Highway 150 West in Cherryville. Give them a call, 704-435-9525, or go online at acreenterprises.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys.
All right.
Morning, JP. All right,
Morning.
Hunter, we got to go over the
We
NBA
got to do this super
schedule.
quick.
You can give everybody kind of a quick synopsis of what the NBA is doing, and they're coming back supposedly, and more.
Yeah, the NBA is scheduled to come back. We'll be still in their bubble of Orlando, Florida. We have 22 teams returning. Not all 30. 22. Wait, is it 30, 32 teams?
22.
No, I'm talking NBA as a whole.
30.
That's what I thought. It's NFL that's 32. Got it.
Got it.
The NBA is 30. So only 22 teams are returning. Games will start back July 30th. There'll be 2 games that night. Utah versus New Orleans will be the opening game to bring back the rest of the 8 games that they're trying to play for the season before the playoff starts. It's 6:30, and the Clippers-Lakers. Imagine that. They're going to have that game as one of the games coming back for. That is the 9 o'clock game. And it's looking like, I'm just trying to do this quick math. We're not really quick math. So July 30th will be the start, and it looks like it's going to run Friday, August 14th for the rest of those, trying to get those 8 games in. I think, obviously, and I think we all can agree, that's too damn long to try and just get 8 games in. But that's what they're going to do. Playoffs will still be the same, East versus West. There will be a play-in game if there is a tie for the 8th seed between the 8th spot and the 9th spot. They will play each other for a play-in game to see who gets the 8th seed and gets to play the number 1 seed and eventually just get knocked out. So, with that, players obviously have their choice if they want to come back and play. There have already been a few players that have voiced that they are not coming to play. Avery Bradley, obviously, is the noticeable one. It is not for what people think. The report has come out. His son has got a respiratory problem right now. He's very sick, so it is for family reasons. I will not butcher him for that. Not at all. And everybody's going to have their choice. I know Kevin, and I was reading a story, and someone said it's easy for injured players to say they wouldn't have gone and played because they're not playing anyways. I know Kevin Durant said he wouldn't have gone and played. Kyrie says he wouldn't have gone and played. But for a lot of guys, you're still got a championship on the line right now. So if you can go and play, it's fantastic. If you can't, we understand.
Season starts when?
Season will start July 30th.
Season ends when?
They say regular season games should be done Friday, August 14th.
Okay.
No times have been decided for those games. But some days, this is what the fun part about it. Some days there might be 8 games on some days.
I think
They
the
got
8
7
games.
courts. They got 7 courts.
Oh,
now.
I know, but I'm just looking like
we only need one.
So they're
court.
going to play 8 games in 2 weeks.
You got 7 courts.
They'll be busy. That's a lot of games in 2 weeks.
We only need one court.
One every 2 days.
like
Yeah.
July 30th
That's a lot.
has got 2 games, obviously, because those are the 2 bring me back games. But then the next day has got
it's all
6,
day.
7 games.
Yeah.
There's games from 2:30 until 9 o'clock, and I'm just
No,
based
no.
on like the times.
It's like
they're
going
trying to
to,
televise
a
all
camp.
of them.
No,
Yeah.
A basketball
no
camp.
fans.
Yeah.
No fans.
My
None.
biggest
None.
concern on a lot of this, people are going to get the virus or whatever. Baseball's fine. I mean, golf's finding out.
NBA
Clemson's announcing people after people
Hey,
after
Commissioner
people.
Silver said there's
37.
no safe, true safe way to do it. We just have to go forward.
Right. So either what are going to be their rules and protocols if one person gets it? Does the whole team quarantined and out of the playoffs
See,
and
I
out of
haven't seen
everything?
anything about
Is
that.
it does the whole is it player by player? Are they going to do it that way?
Yeah, Silver says
so many
it's
questions.
the best option because there's no like risk-free option.
Right.
At
Yeah,
this
I
point.
totally get that. I just want to know what they're going to do, and also no matter what happens, it's really going to taint the championship because you're going to have teams losing players. So they're not losing it to ankle injuries or on court injuries. They're going to be coming off the court. What's going to happen, Hunter, when we get to the NBA Western Conference Finals and 7 Clippers get the corona and all the Lakers are healthy? Do you not think the holy living conspiracy theories are about to lose their minds when the Lakers make it through this thing without getting it, and then some of these other teams get it? There's things like that. You even got to think about that in baseball. They're going to play the whole season. Some of these guys ain't making it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why they got these 60 or whatever rosters you're talking about, the extra people for the rosters. These guys aren't making it through. And basketball having the small rosters they have, we saw last year with Kevin Durant's injury how it can change the NBA season, the NBA playoffs,
The NBA
series,
finals,
and the course of history in the NBA. Like, you know, people on different teams now. So it's going to be however way it starts. It's not going to finish that way. Whether it's your team, the other team's not. I'm worried about that.
I think right now, and this is crazy. I think a lot of it is fluid. I think nothing's set in stone. I think it's very
fluid stuff.
a very
I just
fluid
think
situation.
Kevin probably went a little too far with the whole. They're going to alter the history of the NBA. I don't think.
I said
do that.
No. I said it does when Kevin Durant's injury is what I was saying altered the history of the NBA, and something small like that can, because he's going to change teams. What if Kevin Durant was healthy and they kept winning, and Draymond and the fourth musketeer over here wasn't calling the best basketball player on the planet the B word? Like, come on.
Musketeer.
Barkley said it the best. He said Draymond is the worst member of a boy band and doesn't even realize it. That's what Barkley said. He said, shut up.
Draymond also in an interview this week said,
How many championships did Barkley win?
"Oh,
That's all I got to say.
how many did Draymond get piggybacked
Good job,
to?"
buddy. Come back and
I
talk
tell you
to
what,
me tomorrow.
Hey, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry's backs are really
is
hurting.
not better than Charles Barkley. We all know this. Robert Horry is not better.
How many rings you got?
Will Purdue has 4.
Okay.
Did we ever get a phone call?
No. JP, did you get a phone call on the trivia?
No.
All right. Well, we're gonna do
Never
this
rang.
again. We're just gonna talk about it, and we'll guess we won't give out golf passes today. Trivia for today was I've got it on my phone, Terry. You can look at it if you want. I'll put it up on my phone. So, the trivia today was what local high school had the most players play in the NFL, and what we mean by that is make an appearance during a regular season game, not drafted, not practice squad, not any of that, not on the cheerleading team, no GM.
Dang it.
Nobody like that.
Wasn't me.
So anyway, there's 18 teams in Gaston, Lincoln, and Cleveland and Rutherford counties in our coverage area. Only 12 of them have a player that made it. In Rutherford County, it's East Rutherford, RS Central, and Chase have NFL players. In Gaston County, it's Bessemer City, Hunter Huss, Ashbrook, and South Point. In Lincoln County, Lincoln is the only school with professional football NFL players. Cleveland County, all the schools have had someone make it. Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, and Crest. Now Shelby's got a little asterisk here. There's a Cleveland High School, Terry, is what there used to be one, but the years kind of crossed over of Shelby High School, so that they're not actually counted together according to the NFL Pro Football database. So they're separated. So Cleveland High School was in Shelby, and that's where Bobby Bell went, the Hall of Famer, and he played in the NFL from '63 to '74. So when the Shelby folks, they're going to get mad at me here in a minute when I say who's got the most NFL players. That's how that's broken down. So We're going to go in order of the lowest number to the highest. How about that? We'll start in Rutherford County. East Rutherford had a player back in 1972 and 73, running back Lewis Jolly, played in the NFL for 2 years. The South Point Red Raiders, if you guessed them, you're wrong. They've only had one player appear in an NFL game. And a couple of notes I want to make about some of these schools. Think about Terry. So South Point, the only player to make it for them is a wide receiver, Corin Robinson.
From North Carolina State.
Went to NC State. Yeah. And Corin, and you think about this year at South Point, Ray Greer, a highly touted wide receiver. Well, Corin played running back for the most part at South Point and ends up making it to the NFL as a wide receiver. So a lot of these players, the way they change positions is crazy, just looking at them here in school and everything. All right, so folks wondering about Tanner Muse. He has not appeared in an NFL game yet, so he doesn't count. So maybe, hopefully, he'll be changing that list there this season. All right, so you're wrong if you guessed South Point. Now, Hunter, we had 2 from Bandy's, of course. So we mentioned them earlier. How about we'll jump up to the teams with 2 people that made the NFL? We'll start in Gaston County with Hunter Huss. Lamar Holmes was a tackle, played from 2012 to 2014. And Rufus Crawford, 1978. So Hunter Huss has had 2 NFL players. Have they got any state championships, Terry?
No.
I don't. All right, so South Point does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
South Point's got a few. Yeah.
Do you know the exact number?
Not off the top of my head.
All right. We just know they have them. That's one point I'm trying to make here. All right. Also with 2 NFL players is Hunter Huss rival, the Ashbrook Green Wave. Sean Boyd, defensive back in '96, played at North Carolina. Franklin Tate, a linebacker, played in the NFL in 1975 for 1 season. A lot of these guys only got – that's how tough it is, isn't it, Terry?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We talk about all these state championships and all these kids going to college, and teams
and
like –
your opportunities to make the NFL are very few.
Are so small. Sean Boyd, the only one at Ashford. Now, they've got a state championship, right?
Yes.
Okay. From 1996, it's been 24 years since Ashbrook's had someone make the pros. RS Central Hilltoppers had 2 players make the pros. One as recently as last year, so he may get to play this year. Jermaine Pratt is still out there. Did we ever mention his name on one of our shows, Terry? I don't ever remember mention that name. Linebackers is tough to get your name mentioned, I guess, on our shows a lot. And Phil Forney, linebacker, 1987, the RS Central Hilltopper. Sorry, Derek Smith did not make it as a pro, one of our listeners and former broadcasters. How about this? Now, I wanted to point this out, Terry, on how hard it is to make it as a pro, what you just said. Lincoln County, only one player since 1968 has made it to the pros. C.J. Wilson, NC State Wolfpack, and Tampa Bay Buccaneer defensive back, of course, fireworks incident. So in 52 years, only one person from Lincoln County has made it to the pros in Lincoln County, and he had a fireworks incident. And my always thing on about that was, who gave the guy with 2 commas in his bank account the fireworks?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people around. Yeah. Someone else shoot the fireworks. But anyway, other than that, I mean, right, Tom? Of all the people to be holding the fireworks, that's the one not to. but CJ, good player. Terry, you got State's got a lot of players on this list that went to the pros.
Sure do.
But State's been a good pipeline for locals. But Hunter, I mean, if I'd have told you that, just thinking about it, in 52 years they've only had one person from
Lincoln made a
Lincoln
state
County.
Championship game a few years ago.
So how many? So East has got a state championship.
East has got
He's got 2.
Yeah.
Lincoln's got a state. I'm just saying A and at least one.
Been there 4 times.
Lincoln's got one. So there's some state championship teams in that county and only one player. Now, if folks are going to say, well, the Surratts are going to have a chance. They absolutely will. We'll see about it. We'll see if they do. But you never know. So
just because they get drafted doesn't mean they touch a field.
Right. All right. So there's all the folks of 2 now, except for one school, the Bessemer City Yellow Jackets. Now, I got another one. So we're going to get to Cleveland County. There's 2 other schools. Sorry about that. Best pursuit of the Yellow Jackets, I'll go ahead and go with them. Norris McCleary and Philip Crosby were on the same Bessemer City High School team. Went to the state championship game and lost. Norris played for the Kansas City Chiefs, Philip Buffalo Bills, and I think he had one other stop. Philip was on the national championship team for the Tennessee Volunteers with T. Martin the year after Peyton left and disgraced the school. So Philip brought honor back to the school for Bessemer City. If you don't know what the Peyton Manning story is, look up Peyton Manning training room incident settlement. That's all I have to say. See how that got swept under the rug. Other local pros. How about two pros from Burns? Tony Scott played in 2000 and 2001, and Scotty Montgomery in the NFL from 2000 and 2002. There must have been some pretty good Burns teams back in those days, in the late 90s.
There were late 90s, early 2000s, good Burns teams coming through there. That's when I first started at Burns.
Now, Scotty is listed. I tell you, they also list the guys once you click on their names or in schools. So they've got Burns. Tony Scott says Burns Lawndale. Mm-hmm. On Scotty's, it says Burns Cherryville. So Andre said that we get to count him because he lived in Cherryville, and y'all drew the invisible lines over there and stole Scotty. But because when you click on when you click on city names, it says Cherryville, but it says Burns High School, and Tony Scott Hunter was his teammate, and it's got Burns listed as Lawndale, that's where the school is. But Scotty lives in the Cherryville, from Cherryville. I guess the Cherryville district is where he came from. So that's how they got that list.
Wasn't he coaching East Carolina at one point?
At some point, yeah. Kings Mountain's got 2 players, guys. How about this? We talk about the Mountaineers, Terry. It's been 27 years since Kevin Mack was a Cleveland Brown.
Yep.
27 years too. Since Kings Mountain. So those Kings Mountain and Burns, 2001, 2002 for Burns, Kings Mountain 93, and then Calvin Stevens in 92 played. All right, so there's all the teams with 2. Now the teams with 3. The Crest Chargers with 3. And when Rob was here, Hunter, he had Jonathan Bullard on his Mount Rushmore. He had Brandon Spikes on his Mount Rushmore. And he forgot one. He didn't mention Chris Coleman, Terry. Should we should we get on him about that?
No.
No?
Sometimes, it depends on the moment and when you ask. Who you thinking about?
He forgot about him. Poor
Coleman blocked
poor
a punt in an NFL game, in a playoff game.
He did?
Yep.
Oh, for who? Do you remember?
He was playing for the Tennessee Titans. He blocked a punt. I remember that when we were watching dances. I know that guy. I played football with him, my brother. It's like Chris Coleman. Blocked a punt in an NFL game, so that's pretty cool.
So Robbie accidentally forgot to mention him on that. So I'll give Robbie a little bit on that. Hunter, I'm going to do something here in a second. Okay, rest of the list. Cleveland High School had Mel Phillips and Bobby Bell, leaving Shelby with 3. Johnny Hudson, 1921, played in the NFL. Tom London, 1978. And Robert Williams, 1999. He was a Tar Heel defensive back played with Dre Bly in that gang back in the day. So that was a pretty good defensive. He was a corner, not a starter on the end, but he did make it for a year or so. All right, so Terry, that leaves us the number 1 team.
It does.
And did anyone have this on their list?
I would have never guessed this.
Would you have not?
No.
I was wondering.
I would
I
not.
promise you, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I
team
would
he
have
just
went
talked about is the one.
exactly.
I
would have went Shelby, then Crest, or Crest and then Shelby, one or the other.
Yeah.
Is how I would have started it. But nobody in the world would have picked this team.
The number 1 team on the list for NFL players is the Chase Trojans. Terry, would you like to read the Chase Trojans?
I can. It started way back in 1983, 1987, running back Chuck McSwain. Then in 1984 through 1990, this guy was in the NFL as a defensive back, Rod McSwain. And then from 2003, 2004, linebacker Kenyon Whitesides. And the last one, 2017 through 2019, defensive tackle Carlos Watkins.
Yep.
So
it was 2001 in a playoff game. The Titans actually lost the game, but Coleman blocked a punt right before halftime. I remember watching that because my brother was like, "Yeah, there's Chris Coleman. He just blocked a punt in a playoff game." So,
But how many people in the world would have come in here and picked Chase?
Of all the schools in our area. What's the record against Shelby, Terry?
Yeah, Owen.
51.
That's all I got.
One
Owen.
tie. One tie.
Yeah, one time. 1968.
What is how many state championships does Shelby have?
Quite a few.
They
compared to
Shelby hasn't had a NFL player make it since the turn of the millennium.
Yeah, think of that. 1998.
So Chase has never will beat Shelby. Shelby has 100 championships, but Shelby has not had a single player make the NFL. Shelby or Kings Mountain has not had a player make the NFL since the turn of the millennium.
Wow. Who'd have thought?
And to think back, if you really think about that, and as you're speaking, if you go back, Kings Mountain, Shelby, neither one of them, Chase has had 2 people that's made it since the last ones from either one of those schools.
Right. The Whitesides kid's the one who picked me up and threw me 20 yards by himself. Kid. Sorry. The man-child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to get everybody gray there, Hunter, for the end of the show, but I did nothing but turn myself that way. There's something I got to do. Well, I'll get that fixed for the next one. But quick story on the kid from Chase. Kid or Whitesides from Chase. He when we was at Bessemer, we ran we would sneak in our fastest player at tight end sometimes, Terry, and try to run an end around or something with him. And he was a freshman and fast kid. He ended up being the quarterback there after I left. And Deontay, we ran the end around to him, and they had these 2 defensive ends. The other guy was just as big and as good as him. He went somewhere else. I can't remember his name. It was Carlos.
Watkins.
Something. Was it Carlos Watkins? Is that who I'm thinking about? Jeez. Anyway, we ran the end around, Tommy. I'm doing my fake, so I'm going around the corner, and all I heard was a big loud smack, and then I heard the crowd. I heard a thud, and I heard the crowd go, "Ooh!" And I had my back turned. I turned around, and Deontay's laying there like a chalk outline, and the poor kid, they get him off the field. And remember, he's a freshman, so this is like his 5th football game in high school, or 3rd or 4th. It wasn't. It was somewhere near the start, and they had to take him off the field, and he sat over there on the sidelines the rest of the game with the smelling salt, and it took him. I don't think he played the next week. This was before we even had concussion protocols at all, and he had the smelling salt in his nose, and if you've done that, it'll wake you up. He wasn't moving. He was just over there like it was almost in his nose, like if your nose is running, you stick tissue in it. It's how far up he had it. But yeah, that guy just. What was funny about it was the rest of the story. The next play, Terry, they called it again. They called an option to that guy's side. I said, no. Jermaine running in. He goes, it was to the right. It's basically, I ain't going to say what the play order call is, but it's basically option right. And I said, he just killed Deontay. We're going left, boys. 423, whatever the option was on left, on 2. Here we go. We went the other way. I went, because we ran the option off the end. So not, you run the option off the end of the linebacker. I'd much rather run off the linebacker, Tom, because I can cut and move. If it's on the end, I fake it. If nobody's messed with the end, he hits me in the face every stupid play. I hated that crap. They wanted me, the very next play, let's run right at that guy again. I'm sure that'll fake him out. After he just Hulk Hogan to the other kid across the field, I'm going to run at him. Nope. Change and play. Audible. Let's get out of here. All right, Hunter, take it away as we get out of here. JP, play some Playmakers music for us in there. I'll get down the hall. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And with that, we will see everybody next time. From Tom, Kevin, Terry, and myself, Hunter, thank you for tuning in to Saturday Morning Sports Talk here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Incredible man, I only do things incredible can, cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am